Well, I got cut off. I don't know exactly how much of the last one was actually recorded, but here's a second try. It said it was complete, so I'm coming back and I'm trying to finish up because I've got a lot of shit to say about this. You were very provocative. Provocative might not be the right word. Anyways, Bob, or Meta Bob, whatever you want me to call you. Um, Spirituality is not mutually exclusive with logic. I can agree with that absolutely. As I have my own spirituality, the biggest component of that spirituality is love. It's of a romantic sort, I guess, but it's so like I can't deny. I can't. There's no way to deny that there is some sort of deep human, just something to spirituality. There is. And it is part of history the same way as the belief in pink unicorns is historical. Probably not nearly as important, but, or, the belief that Dionysus could turn water to wine, thousands of years before Jesus Christ was born. That was actually scientifically documented to have a place with a sieve where they tricked people into thinking that the priests of Dionysus, could turn water to wine. But spirituality is important, whereas I think religion in the strictest sense is not important to the human experience. Belief in some invisible sky daddy is just a mem complex. It's a self-replicating idea that has infected a few people's minds. It's been developed, and it sort of has followed this like parasitic natural selection, whereas the ones that wedge themselves firmly into people's minds and generate, pop their lives, take over their lives, turn them into more, at least in some part, take over their lives, and turn them into a machine to go out and spread this same mental infection. That to me is the same thing as getting, as some sort of it is a spreading mental disease. And I think it's a serious problem in our society that logic is so discarded, especially when it comes to policy and how it actually affects our life. If everyone just wants to prance around for 3 hours a day in their own home to the magical fairyland, that's fine. I mean, if that's what they want to do, I'm not big into lying to yourself. I think lying to yourself is fucking wrong. You might as well not do it. It's pointless and it's harmful to yourself. But if they just, without lying to themselves, just wanted to prance around and sing magical fairy songs and, acknowledge that it's mythology and play around, that's fine. But it actually affects our world. That's the only reason I take issue with it. And I don't take issue with spirituality. I don't take issue with deep human emotion or, the overriding fact that everything is interconnected, interrelated. It's like where you get into Einstein and quantum physics, and the farther you get into it, and the fucking the more you understand that things are, at least in a very literal sense, connected. Like disambiguation or quantum entanglement. I mean, there's a lot of evidence for it, but you know what? There's not enough evidence to make a solid case for any particular deity, and there's just it's illogical. It doesn't, or not illogical. It is impossible according to everything that we know. Excuse me, that there's some magical deity. I mean, there is a possibility that there is a magical deity, God figure, sort of all-powerful thing, but there also might be a Santa Claus, and he might actually literally go into everyone's house, take the presents, and replace them with his own presents or something like that. I mean, there's absolutely no evidence, and it sounds recalculous, and but so does God. I mean, when you really examine it. Anyways, it's been a good little fireside chat here. I really enjoyed talking to you, Meta Bob. I appreciate your response. I would create a response video for Fantastic Babblings too, but he just killed it so good that I just couldn't say anything. So, Meta Bob, it was excellent talking to you. I like it when you're long-winded, I guess. You seem to criticize yourself and have some sort of, like, I see it akin as to a child walking up to a fire and, putting their hands close to it, and they're like, whoa, 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 like, it's warm. Just don't stick your hand all the way in. Don't talk for 2 hours about cardboard boxes, and I think you'll be fine. You have very interesting things to say, and I appreciate listening. I appreciate seeing, oh, Metabobs has something that, looks interesting, and I go and I watch it, and of course it was very fucking interesting. So, anyways, I'm totally going to pull this to a close. This has run way too long, but it was fun. So take this for what it is. I'm an atheist who believes that spirituality is useful in certain contexts. Religion, in the most narrow sense, is not. Religion, in a wider sense, I think everyone uses the toilet religiously. They eat food religiously. They drink water religiously. I personally have a deep spiritual and emotional devotion to a woman, spiritually. I have a deep emotional connection to my friends, on a spiritual level. I don't think that our brains were built for that. I think that our brains manifested and are the way they are specifically because that's what survived, as it's well supported. And it's the only theory that makes sense and that has been let into any scientific journals in the last 20 years, because you can't really argue with it. Now, whether you're like a literal neo-Darwinist or not, natural selection did happen, evolution did happen, although the details are still being argued over. Oh, Metabob. I don't want to get all mushy and be like, oh, thanks for sharing, it was so great, I really appreciate it. But I appreciate that you take this time, and I'm not very articulate when it comes to expressing appreciation. Fucking thank you for expressing yourself. I love it when people take time and they address things very, like, you have a fashion about you that I think it may be caused by your, like, self-consciousness about this. So, I don't know. You have this sort of self-evaluation that goes on, it seems, like, while you're doing it. And I think it's valuable. Just don't let it take over, because you got words, and we want to hear them. At least I know I fucking do. So don't rob me of all the cool-ass videos that you would have made. Because you're like, I wonder if anyone, As long as you don't make them about cardboard boxes or, the wonderful applications of chewing tinfoil, I think we'll all be on board with taking a look at them. Alright, catch you later, you guys. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Phil. I know it's not your birthday anymore. You, even here, there, whichever side of the planet you're on, it doesn't matter. It has been completely passed up by the Earth's spin, I guess. Your birthday has been swallowed up, but happy birthday anyways. Gisburn's back, by the way. Oh my god, his name is Nick Gisburn, and he's back on YouTube now. He posted up his videos. He's not going to be doing anything with that until his project is finished. And so Nick, if you're watching this, you probably shouldn't be. You should be working on your project. But more power to you. I'm always available if you need help. So catch everybody later. Love you, Ashley, and have a good night.